At least 15 people outside a funeral home were wounded in the latest gun violence to hit Chicago. Funeral attendees were targeted in a drive-by attack yesterday. Some were hospitalized in serious condition. As Adriana Diaz reports, the shooting comes as President Trump pushes to send federal agents to Chicago to curb the gun violence.
Outside of Chicago's Rhodes Funeral Home, a ceremony to remember a victim of gun violence was interrupted by gun violence in a drive-by shooting.
A black vehicle began firing at attendees of a funeral. At that time, the attendees of the funeral exchanged gunfire.
We thought it was a war out here.
Police say the car's occupants ultimately crashed and fled from the scene, where officials counted at least 60 shell casings. It's the latest of more than 1,600 shooting incidents in Chicago this year, up more than 500 from this time a year ago.
Many people killed over the weekend. We're looking at Chicago, too.
President Trump Monday pointed to Chicago as a city in desperate need of intervention. Following controversial tactics in Portland, Oregon, he could send as many as 175 federal law enforcement officers to Chicago.
We are not going to allow democracy to be hijacked by the federal government.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot Tuesday criticized the actions of federal agents in Portland, adding that her city would reject, quote, dictatorship, but welcome federal partnership in the effort to fight violence.
Unlike what happened in Portland, what we will receive is resources to help manage and suppress violent crime in our city.
The mayor co-signed a letter to President Trump this week calling the tactics in Portland, quote, an abuse of power. As for the shooting here in Chicago, police have detained and questioned a person of interest, but a motive remains unclear. Gail?
No motive would make sense. I love the city of Chicago. A drive-by shooting at a funeral does not represent who they are. It's very sad. Thank you very much, Adriana.